Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. This is a B2 level English lesson, and today we're going to be learning phrases that will help you keep a conversation on topic. So do you listen well? Are you a good listener? So how true are these statements for you? I listen to everything carefully, no matter who is speaking, and you can rate these always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. My friends talk to me about their personal problems because I am a good listener. When talking casually with my friends, I don't pay attention to what they are saying. I don't listen to instructions. You need to tell me them at least twice. People tell me that I don't listen. I can listen carefully for a few minutes, but I get distracted. We all get distracted. We have to listen or read for many hours every day, and it's normal to be distracted from time to time. We asked a large group of students, when listening to a lecture, what is the number one reason you get distracted? And here are their most common answers. I'm thinking about other things that I have to do. I look at my phone. The professor is still talking, and another class is about to start. I don't understand the lecture. I get bored. I'm almost always stressed and distracted, or something else. So now you can answer the following questions in the comments. Do you have a friend or a family member who is always distracted? Do you have a colleague who doesn't seem to listen? Life is generally busy. We don't always have time to listen, but people don't always listen to what we have to say. So has this ever happened to you? You know, sometimes the internet really distracts me. I work from home and I often work at the dinner table. Now and then, when I'm supposed to be researching, say, a report, I find myself looking at nonsense. Worst of all, half an hour has passed. And does this sound familiar to you? So read the conversation between John and Mike. What's the problem? And have you ever been in this situation? Hey Mike, I need to talk to you about something. Sure, John, I'm all ears. What's up? Well, we have a meeting at 5 p.m. and you still haven't sent me the report. Yeah, you're right. Hey, did you hear that Sarah and Mary had an argument this morning in the cafe across the road? They're both going to be at the meeting this morning, and Carrie said that they were really shouting at each other. So in your language, what do you say when someone goes off topic? Do you have expressions that you use to keep someone on topic? So listen to Drew and Marta and then answer the questions.
Listen,
Listen,
I
I
want to
want to
talk to
talk to
you
you
about the
about the
dinner
dinner
party
party
on
on
Saturday
Saturday
night.
night.
Oh, not that again. What now?
Well, first of all, do you think we have everything we need?
How should I know? You wrote the shopping list. By the way, did you know you can do all your grocery shopping online? It's much quicker, apparently.
Is that right? Well, to get back to what I was saying, I'm just worried that I might have forgotten something.
Okay, so what does Drew want to talk about? He wants to talk about the dinner party that they're giving. How does Marta show that she's not interested in the topic? She changes the subject, starts to talk about ordering groceries online. And what expression does Drew use to get back to the topic? He says, well, to get back to the topic. Well, to get back to what I was saying. All right, we're going to listen to more of the recording and answer a few more questions.
I'm just worried that I might have forgotten something.
I don't know why we have to do this all the time. There are plenty of other things we could do on a Saturday night, like go to the movie theater, for example. Mark saw that new Space Monster movie last week, and he said it was awesome.
That's great. But to go back to what we were talking about, there is something I need to tell you about Rachel and Simon.
Okay, Marta's not interested in the conversation and goes off topic again. What does she talk about? She starts talking about a movie. And what expression does Drew use to get Marta back on topic? He says, but to go back to what we were talking about. And you will finally hear the topic that Drew wants to talk about, and what is it? And listen to the end of Drew and Marta's conversation and answer the questions.
There is something I need to tell you about Rachel and Simon.
Actually, have you seen Rachel's new hairstyle? She looks amazing.
Yes, it's lovely. As I was saying, there is something you need to know about Rachel and Simon.
Really? What's that?
Well, you know that Rachel just got promoted, right?
Yes, maybe that's why she has a new hairstyle.
Yes, probably. So anyway, it turns out that Simon applied for the same position, but they gave it to Rachel.
What position was it?
I don't know. Some kind of management position? But anyway, as I was saying, Simon is pretty upset that he didn't get the job.
I'm not surprised. I would be too. He's been working there for years now.
Right. But the point is, it would be a good idea to avoid talking about work-related matters with Rachel and Simon.
Okay, sure. Who wants to talk about work anyway?
So how does Marta go off topic again? She talks about Rachel's hairstyle. What expression does Drew use to stay on topic? As I was saying, and what did we learn about Rachel and Simon? They were competing for the same job. Rachel got it, and Simon's kind of upset. And finally, Drew makes a suggestion regarding the dinner party. What does he suggest, and how does Marta respond? He suggests not talking about work, and Marta agrees. All right, the conversation has a lot of helpful language that you can use to stay on topic. And most of that is in bold. By the way, well, to get back to what I was saying, but to go back to what we were talking about, actually, as I was saying, so anyway, but anyway, as I was saying, what the point is. So those are all ways to steer the conversation back to the topic that you wanted to talk about. So all of these expressions are for informal spoken language. By the way, well, to get back to what I was saying, but to go back to what we were talking about, actually, as I was saying, so anyway, but anyway, as I was saying, but the point is. So you won't see these expressions in written English very often. You can see that a comma follows the expressions, and the comma signifies a short pause. In formal language, and especially in writing, you should avoid starting sentences with words like and, so, and but. You listen to Drew and Marta talk about their upcoming dinner party. You're going to continue their conversation. Earlier, you heard them talk about Rachel and Simon, and you were going to imagine how they might talk about another uncomfortable situation. Susie and Aaron are coming to their dinner party, but and see if you could go ahead and write a dialogue related to what do you think the problem is between Susie and Aaron. And here's some facts to help you with that writing. Susie and Aaron are housemates. They have lived together for 5 years. Aaron has decided to move out. Susie knows that Aaron wants to move. Aaron plans to move in with new housemates. Susie thinks that she and Aaron are going to move together. So finally, Drew and Marta already know the information above because Aaron had coffee with them last week. Have you ever been in a situation like this? Why hasn't Aaron told Susie that he is moving in with new housemates? So now imagine the conversation between Drew and Marta, and they've started it for you. Listen, we should also think about Aaron and Susie. That could be a bit of an issue. What do you mean? Oh, wait, yeah, they're moving to a new house, right? Yeah, but they seem to have a different idea about what's happening. So then go ahead and see if you can continue the conversation on your own. And if you'd like some feedback, you can put your dialogue in the comments. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, participate in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.